Hello, my dear friends. You're welcome on our channel, and in this video, we're going to discuss Ukraine war news update today, the most important events that took place during the previous hours. Yesterday, near the Sloviansk direction, clashes occurred near the settlements of Yampil, Dronivka, and Vyimka. Ukrainian forces repelled 7 enemy attacks in this sector as Russian troops attempted to advance there. These engagements were part of a total of 6 enemy assaults repelled by Ukrainian soldiers in the Sloviansk direction on the 18th of October 2025, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Following his meeting with President Donald Trump, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that they have decided not to publicly discuss long-range missiles for now, respecting the U.S.'s desire to avoid escalation. When asked about the possible transfer of Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine, Zelensky deferred to the Americans, emphasizing that those are U.S. weapons. Discussions on this topic have been sensitive, with Trump expressing hesitation partly due to the strategic implications and ongoing negotiations involving Russia. The U.S. has not closed the door on supplying the missiles, but no definitive commitment has been made at this time. Russian fighters seen through the lens of the flying Lancet watch as the drone crashes into the Ukrainians' tank, bursts into flames in spectacular fashion, and is then finished off by the Lancet. A video showing a soldier from the Ukrainian armed forces attempting to rape a girl is circulating on Ukrainian channels. They write that the incident took place in the Mykolaiv region. The UAV was being controlled by a colleague conducting training flights. Russian soldiers carrying equipment on a vehicle were hit by a Ukrainian drone. The drone wounds the driver and knocks him unconscious for a while. The vehicle then subsequently crashes. The recorder of the video jumps out and goes on to check on the driver. He is severely wounded, but he is alive, barely moving his hands. You could see the FPV shrapnels went through his neck and his back of his head. On the 18th of October 2025, in the Pokrovsk direction, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported intense clashes near the settlements of Volodymyrivka, Rodinsky, Myrolubivka, Novoekonomichne, Chervony Lyman, Lysivka, Pokrovsk, Zvirov, Kotlin, Udakne, Molodetske, and Kotlyarivka. Russian forces launched around 31 attacks, attempting to push Ukrainian defenders from their positions in these areas. Ukrainian forces successfully held their lines and repelled all enemy assaults, maintaining control over key positions despite heavy fighting. Yesterday, October 18, 2025, a Russian strike hit a residential house in Shakhtarske, the Dnipropetrovsk region, resulting in 11 people wounded. Among the injured, one woman is reported to be in serious condition. The strike caused fires in apartment buildings and damage to infrastructure in the area. This incident is part of ongoing Russian attacks targeting civilian areas in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Overnight on October 18 to 19, 2025, Russian forces launched a large drone attack on Ukraine using 62 strike drones, including Shahed, Gerber, and other models. The drones were launched from multiple directions, including Milarovo, Kursk, Oriol, Shatalovo, and Primorsko-Akhtarsk. Ukrainian air defenses successfully intercepted or neutralized about 40 of these drones, while 19 drones managed to strike 7 locations across northern and eastern Ukraine. The attack included sustained countermeasures by Ukrainian aviation, surface-to-air missile units, electronic warfare systems, and mobile fire groups. The assault is ongoing, with some enemy drones still active in Ukrainian airspace. On the 18th of October 2025, a Russian airstrike with a glide bomb hit the residential area of Lozova in Kharkiv Oblast, injuring 4 people. The strike caused a fire, damaging an 80 square meter residential house and several other buildings. This was the first time a new modification of a guided aerial bomb, the UMPB-5R, was used against Lozova, launched from temporarily occupied Ukrainian territory. Among the wounded, 4 were treated on site, while 2 with explosive injuries were hospitalized. Authorities launched a pre-trial investigation into this attack as a war crime. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, on the 18th of October 2025, in the Kramatorsk direction near Orikhovo-Vasilivka, the enemy attempted twice to breach Ukrainian defenses but failed to achieve any breakthrough. No successful Russian offensive actions were reported in this area that day, as Ukrainian forces effectively repelled the assaults. In the Kostiantynivka direction, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported that Russian forces attacked Ukrainian positions 9 times in the areas of Shcherbanivka, Pleskivka, and Rusin Yar. Ukrainian defenders successfully repelled all enemy attacks in these settlements, preventing any Russian breakthroughs in this sector. Today, the Novokuybishevsky oil refinery in the Samara region of Russia was attacked by drones. The strike caused a fire at the refinery, which is operated by Rosneft and is one of Russia's largest oil refineries with a capacity of about 8.8 million tons of oil per year. There were no immediate reports of casualties. This attack is part of a broader Ukrainian drone campaign targeting Russian energy infrastructure deep inside Russian territory, aiming to disrupt fuel supplies crucial for Russia's military and domestic needs. The fire and damage caused by the strike have been confirmed by regional officials, though specific details on the extent of damage have not been fully disclosed. Ukrainian drones attacked the Orenburg gas processing plant in Russia's Orenburg region, causing a fire at a workshop within the facility. The plant, operated by Gazprom, is the world's largest gas processing plant with an annual capacity of 45 billion cubic meters. Regional Governor Yevgeny Solntsev reported that the fire has been extinguished and no casualties were reported. The strike is part of Ukraine's intensified drone campaign targeting Russian energy infrastructure to disrupt fuel supplies and reduce Moscow's war financing. Russia's defense ministry claimed to have intercepted 45 Ukrainian drones overnight, including one over the Orenburg region. Donald Trump has proposed meeting with Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin to discuss cutting the military budgets of the US, China, and Russia in half. He argues that current spending levels are excessive and that reducing budgets would enhance global security and stability. Putin has publicly supported the idea, while China has expressed reservations, emphasizing the need to maintain defense spending for sovereignty. This proposal reflects Trump's ongoing focus on reducing military costs while encouraging arms reduction talks among major powers. However, detailed negotiations and practical steps remain uncertain. This initiative aligns with broader efforts to ease geopolitical tensions and redirect resources. On Defender of the Fatherland Day, President Vladimir Putin congratulated Russians and honored the armed forces, especially the air defense forces, for their courage and determination. He emphasized that military service in Russia is highly respected and a matter of honor, rooted in the country's long military history. Putin highlighted that 2025 marks the 80th anniversary of the Great Victory and was declared the Year of the Defender of the Fatherland in Russia. He reaffirmed Russia's commitment to strengthening and developing its armed forces, maintaining their combat readiness and effectiveness as key to national security and sovereignty.